He kōna I purangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
Kia ora, hello and welcome along to the Music 101 Interview Podcast. I'm Charlotte Ryan, and I don't know about you, but I always wonder about film soundtracks and how they work. Like, do you get to watch the film before you even think about writing the music? Well, there's a new local film out called Ka Whawhai, Tonu, A Struggle with End. It's directed by Michael Jonathan. It's been released in New Zealand cinemas next week. And local musicians Tiki Taane and Arli Liberman have composed the score for the film, which, as you'll hear, did present the duo with a few challenges. They had to sort of close off the film with a piece of music that was very emotionally charged and also had to sort of sonically lift the audience from sadness. Anyway, they did it, and they've created an amazing, powerful waiata called Hold On to the Dream, which you should go and listen to after this chat. But anyway, I asked both musicians, Arli Liberman and Tiki, to both speak to me about the process of writing a soundtrack and how they create emotion through sound and sonics.
Hey, kia ora, Charlotte. How are you?
Kia ora, Tiki. Had you both met each other before you worked on this film together?
When I first met Arli, we were playing at this yoga retreat festival.
Guys, I love this.
It was like, yeah, this is, I don't know, like we're talking, I don't know how many years ago, 10, I don't know. But yeah, it was a festival that I won't mention because it went under and they didn't pay us. Anyway, but as when I first really met Arli, I've heard of him, and I knew that he was super talented, and you know, he was there with his long hair and his shirt off and playing all this beautiful music while people were meditating and yogaing and doing that stuff. And I was like, okay, this and watching him create these soundscapes, which to me was beyond me. Like I was like, okay, well, he's another level in that, the soundscape stuff. So when we come together and made this film, I've taken away a lot from Arli about soundscape and textures and all of that kind of stuff, because, you know, often, as Arli said before, it's a different way of approaching music. I'm doing a lot of music that's often will be, okay, targeted towards radio or TV or playing live and making it big and woohoo. So this was the complete opposite. It was like, you know, I was playing putatara, which is the conch. Normally it's a big sound, big blow, but it was like, interestingly, you know, Arli was like, let's pull it right back, play it as soft as you can to the point where there's no sound coming out of it. And that's what we sprinkled all through the film. It's this very airy, soft breath work. And that's something I've never done before because I've just never been in that environment to be able to do that. So that's something that I'll really push forward more as well, is this, the using the softness and the delicate kind of sounds instead of these big raucous sounds, rah, rah, you know. So yeah, it was great.
That's so interesting, because when I was watching the film last night, I was thinking, where is the music? You know, it must just be, but it is there, but it's obviously so entwined in the film.
Absolutely. That was something that we were super conscious about. Your attention is all on the characters, all on the storyline, all on the reo, all on what's happening, and we're not busting you out of that space, but we're supporting that space and gluing it together. So often the stuff you won't even hear it, and that's actually awesome. There's a lot of music in this film, but you actually can't hear half of it because it's just subtly in there, gluing everything together.
But if you remove it, you all of a sudden hear like you feel an insane vacuum of like, whoa, where's all the sound? What happened? It was very evident that there is an incredibly strong expression of the reo language in this film. That's why the first week of cultivating the sounds and the compositions, we just did what Tiki was mentioning. It's just creating windows, creating worlds made out of the Tonga Puru, and a lot of voice experiments from Tiki. Him singing through the instruments in a very non-conventional way, and through a lot of analog treatments that we did live as it goes. That was the scaffold for that world that we're trying to build. We call it, rather than compositions, it's like an invisible characters, sonic characters.
Yes. Is that how you think of music in a film? You are adding another character, because often the music in a film can add so much tension, or it can be a voice. It can be a voice in the movie without realizing it, can't it?
100%. It's 100% what we did, and there are because the performances are so strong, as Tiki said. It's very easy to double up on the emotion, and then you pop it, and then you pop the dream.
Is it sort of less is more sometimes?
Less is more, and also, as you said, the colors and the world is so vivacious, so strong, that both Tiki and myself had a very strong feeling that we have to create something sacred.
Yeah, that's so true. The film is a piece of history. It's set in Aotearoa in 1864, and it tells the story of land battle in the Waikato, the first of the New Zealand wars in this region. But Tiki, tell me, was there an extra sort of connection for you with this? Did you discover that you had family in this war?
Yeah, my iwi's Ngāti Maniapoto. And so we had, my tupuna were in this battle, and we shed DNA on that battlefield. So it was a double one for me, not only making music for this incredible story and narrative, but also tapping into my ancestry as well. And that's and sometimes it was amazing and beautiful, and sometimes it was like, whoa, this is really intense. But I'm so glad that I had Arli to share that with, because it's, it'll be tough to do this by myself. It would I think it'll be a lot to process. So having Arli there to bounce off, but also to laugh with, because you got to laugh, because it's so intense sometimes what we do. We go really deep and really push each other into spaces that is quite uncomfortable and quite unsettling and very vulnerable, absolutely vulnerable. You're sitting there and you're shedding your emotions, and you're just really letting these things come out of you, and Arli's there to capture it. So it was an intense session. And so for me and my whānau, another layer of depth to it, because we have tupuna who have lost their lives in this battle. So that was something really powerful to pull on.
Arli, did you sort of push Tiki in this way to capture that sound and to capture those emotions? Playing an instrument with so much emotion in you, do you believe that a sound would come out differently?
I personally believe so, yes.
Yeah.
I think when you put a very defined intention behind the notes, the outcome will be different if you're just trying to execute the notes or execute manufactured feeling. And I think both Tiki and myself, we really like to play, and we both looked at it as an opportunity to search for areas where we're feeling very unsafe and really push our personal envelopes when it comes to connect to sides of us that we may have not known that we have.
Do you sort of try to trigger each other?
Yeah, but also for me, the main difference between making music for music or music for film is that here in the film world, we are serving a story, and the music is just a vehicle to help carrying something. But in here, very quickly we realized that we're creating something special here between us. It was one of those, you can't control it. You either have it or you don't have it. Every few years you end up having a project that have like a special wairoa. It's got something special going on there, and we both recognized it, and we grabbed the hold of it.
We're talking about the music in this beautiful film, but you have written and released just yesterday a single, in a sense, or a beautiful song called Hold On to the Dream, and you've got Louis Baker singing vocals on this. This song was difficult for you in the sense that it had to encompass a lot of emotions, like you were saying.
Yes, well, Mike, the director, really wanted to finish the film when the rolling credits coming up with some form of cleansing or kind of conclude the intense journey that we just finished. We spoke about it. And Tiki disappeared for like 40 minutes, and he came back with that hook, with that amazing chorus. And it wrote itself very, very quickly. It was just one of those, again, incredible Tiki Taane moments as well of just, it's one of my favorite songwriters. And it came from such a deep, honest and personal space. I was just so, I felt very, very lucky to be part of it.
That's so special. Tiki, where did you go for those 40 minutes to come up with that hook?
I sat on Arli's porch with an acoustic guitar and just started to play and play and play, and it just sort of came out, and then that was it. And then Arli and I fleshed it out. I demoed my vocals with the intent to get Louis Baker to come sing it, and he said yes. So we're like, oh my gosh, amazing. And so, because he's just got
I thought that you guys could both sing.
I definitely can't sing. I sound like an old soprano retired dude from Spain.
Tiki, you can sing, can't you?
Yeah, for sure. And I demoed it and gave it my best shot, but I still felt that Louis could just, I felt that he could just do a much better job, and he did. And so I was so stoked with that. I mean, because he's got the tone, the softness, and this incredible way of pulling you in to his voice and into the song. So it just felt right.
Well, I can't wait for our listeners to hear the song now. The Michael Jonathan film, Ka Whawhai, Tonu, Struggle with Our End, releases in New Zealand cinemas next week. Tiki Taane and Arli Liberman, thank you so much for coming in, and congratulations on this beautiful piece of work that you've done for the film.
Thank you so much. Great to talk to you, Charlotte. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
That wraps up another Music 101 interview podcast. I was speaking with Tiki Taane and Arli Liberman about the film soundtrack Ka Whawhai Tonu, Struggle with the End, which opens in New Zealand cinemas now. I must encourage you to go and listen to the single that we were speaking about. It's called Hold On to the End. It's online now. And remember, I'm live every Saturday afternoon on RNZ National. But if you like music and like hearing what musicians think, heading behind the scenes, make sure you follow this Music 101 interview podcast and share it with your friends too. Until next time, take care.